Hey everyone, so welcome to my YouTube live. This is my second attempt to film this live Q&A in landscape mode. It won't let me, for some reason it's making me do portrait, so I hope that's okay. I know I'm not going to be covering the whole screen. But I'm just going to get started. I did have a couple questions from Instagram. A couple of my followers were not able to join me live right now, so they did send me a couple questions. So I'm going to answer those first, and then I'll just get to answering all of your questions. So what I am just asking you guys to do is just type out your questions in the comments section. And hello, and I will just get to as many as I can within about a 45-minute time frame. My little girl is awake, so you might hear her shouting in the background. She's supposed to be sleeping, but she's awake. So yeah, answer any questions about leaky gut, candida, liver cleansing, anything like that, and I will try to get to everybody. So I'm just going to start. The first question I husband is trying to gain weight, but no matter how much he eats, he doesn't gain any weight, and he does have a bit of a small appetite. So she was asking if I had any recommendations and why that might be happening. So there's a couple things. If you have a hard time gaining weight, no matter how much you eat, number one sign is usually parasites. Usually if you're not gaining weight and you're eating quite a bit of food and you're not exercising excessively, it's usually to do with parasites because they are consuming all your food and taking all your nutrients. So it sounds kind of gross, but that's usually what's going on. The second thing is if you find that you just can't eat a lot or enough, that could be related to just having a stressed stomach. Your stomach literally shrinks when it's stressed out and it becomes hardened. And when that happens, you obviously can't hold as much food and fluids as you would normally, otherwise normally would. So those are my two suggestions. Would be maybe starting to improve your digestion to de-stress his stomach, and then also address parasites. So the second question is, are you ever going to make a recipe book or printable versions of your recipes? So I am hoping that I can get a blog up and running at some point and share all the printable versions of my recipes, because right now I'm just sharing them on Instagram at some point, but it's just kind of on the back burner right now with everything else that's going on. Question 3, how much protein do you try to eat in a day, especially if you're working out? So I don't actually have a certain goal in mind. I honestly eat it intuitively. I just eat when I'm hungry and whatever I'm craving. One thing I do want to say though is I do consume a lot of collagen, bone broth, and gelatin, which is obviously high in protein. So I usually probably hit around 60 grams a day. But for a female, usually you want to hit around 0.36 grams per pound of body weight. So I weigh 120 pounds. So I usually, would need around 45 to 50 grams. I do work out with weights, so I usually try to hit 60 grams of protein a day. There are so many questions coming in, so this is awesome. Keep them coming and I'll get to everyone. The question number 5 was, is it necessary to do a bone broth fast for 1 to 2 days before starting the Candida diet, as well as followed by a steamed veggie diet? I don't think you have to do a bone broth fast before the Candida cleanse. You can just jump right into the Candida cleanse after you've done some liver cleansing. I think a bone broth fast is going to be good for when you're done the Candida cleanse and you're on to the gut healing phase. That would be a really good way to kickstart that, along with the steamed veggie diet. And the last question before I get on to yours is, would you recommend starting a Candida cleanse after planning to go away? Sorry, I disconnected there for a second, but make sure you have 30 to 60 days to do cleanse and really not put your body through too much. So I'm going to close my tablet and just get to answering your questions. So I just got to open them up here. Let me see. Okay, there's a bunch. So thanks for your efforts. And my question is, potato bad to treat autoimmune disorders, as I'm not sure which one I am suffering from yet. I'm not sure what you mean by is potato bad. If you mean like should you avoid potatoes, then yes, all nightshades should be avoided if you have an autoimmune disorder, just because they are very inflammatory. So usually it doesn't matter what type you have, you want to stay away from them, but sweet potato are okay. Hi Marla, I'm from downtown Texas. How are you doing? I'm good. How are you? Thanks for joining. Hi, Marla. Some tips to lower testosterone in women. This is a good question. I do have a YouTube video on some, hormone balancing, but I don't have a lot. So one thing I'm going to say is you have to liver cleanse. If you ever have any excess hormones circulating the body, it just means that they're not being detoxified. So one of the biggest ways is going to be to open up the liver and let those excess hormones actually leave the body, because your liver is your main detox pathway, and if it's not functioning, all those excess hormones are going to recirculate and cause issues. Another thing you could do if you do truly have too much testosterone, licorice root is really good for kind of increasing estrogen. So you might consider maybe adding in licorice root herb. That would be really good as well. And I will try to get a video specifically on testosterone at some point as well. Let's see here. You can hear my girl in the background. I have leaky gut and I'm wondering why salad, even cooked salad, seems to irritate me the next morning. Does it ferment in the rectum, causing irritation and gas? Also, can this cause frequent urination? If you have trouble digesting vegetables, I'm going to say that's just an underactive stomach, so you might want to consider adding in betaine hydrochloric acid. The second thing would be definitely get digestive enzymes in your diet as well, because if you have leaky gut, it means that your digestion is obviously really bad. So you're not going to be producing enough enzymes to break down veggies, and veggies are hard to digest. My second tip would be puree your vegetables. So put them in a smoothie. If they're steamed and they're still causing issues, it means you're still, you don't have enough support. So I would definitely recommend blending it, make a soup with it. So you can, like, if you're consuming broccoli, make a broccoli soup, or if you're having squash, make a squash soup and puree it so it's like creamy and it's pre-chewed, so your stomach or your digestive system doesn't have to go through too much effort. I missed the other part of that. Hold on, let me scroll back. Can this cause frequent urination? Frequent urination is usually more to do with kidney issues, whether that is maybe E. coli in the urinary tract, or just, your kidneys are not filtering toxins, things like that. So if you do have frequent urination, I would recommend a really good kidney cleanse, if you can, with homeopathics. But if not, there are kidney flush, tinctures and things that you can take from health food store. There is one from Alpha Omega, and I think it's literally called Kidney Flush. That might be a good place to start, along with pure 100% like unsweetened cranberry juice, not from concentrate, just pure cranberry would be really good for the kidneys and for frequent urination as well. Let's see what else we have. Greetings from the Dutch Caribbean. Hi, thanks for joining. It's so cool that there's people from all over the world. Have you worked with people who have dizziness, heart palpitations, and lightheadedness? I have been chronically ill for 14 months after a severe food poisoning. Oh, and now dizzy for a month. Oh, that's terrible. Yes, I have. I definitely have gotten a lot of success. So usually if you have heart palpitations, there's most likely potassium deficiency going on there, along with Candida overgrowth. So common to have dizziness, Candida overgrowth, dizziness and heart palpitations when you have Candida overgrowth. If Candida becomes systemic and it enters the bloodstream, it will travel to any part of the body. And since your heart is literally pumping every drop of blood in your body, it all goes through the heart. It's very normal for Candida to travel there, and unfortunately it does cause issues. So I would recommend a Candida cleanse. I'd be happy to work with you and walk you through that. Dizziness, lightheadedness is most likely adrenal fatigue. If you do have Candida, your adrenals are constantly working, so they naturally will become fatigued. So I do recommend taking some adaptogens, lots and lots of vitamin C, B complex, get your adrenals functioning properly again, and then hopefully the dizziness and lightheadedness will start to go away. What else do we have? I have gastric ulcers and blastocystitis hominis infection. What do you suggest I do and how to treat it? I can't give exact tips just like on how to treat it overall, because, I have to kind of get into your specific situation. But overall, if you do have, sorry, comments are scrolling so quick, I can't keep up. If you do have gastric ulcers or anything like that, I do really recommend a tincture called, or an herb called golden seal. You can get it in tincture form. It's really good and soothing for the digestive tract. Another thing is aloe vera gel. It'll directly fight any type of infection because it's antibacterial, but it also is really good for soothing ulcers. What else? I really like marshmallow root. That's fantastic as well. Super soothing. Avoid caffeine, of course, and sugar and any aggravating foods. Coconut oil is really great as well. So you can, oh, I just zoomed in somehow. There we go. It's creepy. And sorry if she's like super loud in the background. I don't know why she's still awake, but so definitely start with the aloe vera, start with the golden seal, marshmallow root, and lots of probiotics, and then see how you feel. I would highly recommend liver flushing as well, to start getting the bacteria and toxins out of the body as you're detoxing. And I actually did just post a video on ulcers, specifically gastric ulcers. So if you haven't, check out my recent videos. You'll find it there, and there's a lot of good tips in there as well. What are your thoughts on high blood pressure and insulin resistance and possible remedies? If you, first of all, in terms of the insulin resistance, if you're having insulin resistance, I highly recommend doing some type of pancreatic flush or some kind of support for the pancreas. If your pancreas is just having a hard time either balancing or producing insulin even, it's usually just due to like an overload. So kind of what happens is if you're have really bad digestion and there's a lot of toxins coming in the body, and your pancreas is literally always on demand to produce your digestive enzymes, it'll just naturally become burdened, blocked, and it's a really good idea to do some type of, like, if you do liver cleansing, it'll support the pancreas. I've heard from a lot of people that coffee enemas really help with the pancreas, so that might be something you want to look into. If you do have high blood pressure, you might want to consider a couple things. So one of my favorite would be taking like raw garlic. That really helps, and ginger. It really helps with improving circulation. If you have high blood pressure, it just means that a lot of times actually it could be Candida overgrowth, which is, again, got into your heart, and it can make your heart pump too quick, and there can be a lot of issues there. And a lot of times it's paired with adrenals. So high fiber diet, like chia seed, flaxseed would be really great to start cleansing and opening up the gut, which then will directly help the arteries. And then things like garlic would be great as well. Hot lemon water is fantastic. But definitely if you do have high blood pressure and that kind of stuff, there's something big, like something underlying issue that's quite big that should be addressed. And it's usually paired with like the liver and pancreas and kidneys. So maybe consider a flush. Okay, where are we? I tried carnivore diet. Now I think I have severe histamine intolerance. How should I cure this, and what can I eat? Yeah, I'm so against the carnivore diet. I know some people swear by it, but I just don't think it's natural whatsoever. If you look at any tribes or cultures, the ones, especially the ones that survive like over 100 years old, they're always usually vegetarian or very low animal, have very low animal consumption. I just don't think it's super natural to be consuming so much meat. But if you have severe histamine, I do have a video completely on histamine intolerance. So you can check that video out for a lot of good info, but definitely do lots of quercetin, vitamin C, something called rutin. It's rutin. It's actually a compound found in buckwheat, and it's extremely anti-inflammatory, but also acts like a very strong antihistamine. So you can start taking like lots of antihistamines to get the inflammation down in your body, and switch to like a whole foods, mostly plant-based, or at least like a lot less meat consumption. I really sorry, disconnected again. Definitely check out. Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry guys, internet issues. Hold on, I kind of lost where I was. Yeah, tips on postpartum nutrition and losing the baby weight without compromising breast milk supply. I think the biggest thing is going to be replenishing everything you lost. So aside from obviously eating lots of fruits and vegetables, protein, healthy fats, in terms of supplements, you can hear her. In terms of supplements, I really recommend a B complex. take it every single day. I highly recommend iron and a really good multivitamin. I love one, it's called GLY Forte, so GLY and then FORTE from Genestra Brands. It has so many amazing nutrients to replenish everything you lost. I highly recommend a cod liver oil. And probiotics would definitely be a big one as well. Those are, I guess, like the basics or staples that you should be doing. I don't think that, I think that the most important thing is also supporting your thyroid. I don't think you'll have any, I think it'll be harder to lose weight if your thyroid's out of balance. So usually if you have issues with breast milk as well, it's usually related to the thyroid, and your body goes through so much through pregnancy and giving birth that it's so important to support the thyroid. So for that, I really recommend something called HTHY. It's a homeopathic tincture from Genestra Brands, and it's really good. It is a glandular, but it contains a lot of different glandulars from rabbit, and it really supports the pituitary gland, your thyroid gland, even the spleen. So it's fantastic for after you give birth. But if you don't want to do glandulars, you can do something called Gamadine, I for iodine. Also from, I think that one would be from Unda, and it's just a homeopathic preparation of iodine, which again can directly support the thyroid. So just support your thyroid like crazy. Take the B complex, the iron, a multivitamin, a cod liver oil, and probiotics, and you'll be well on your way to rebalancing and renourishing everything you lost. Hey, I am from Europe. You are very beautiful. Thank you so much. Sounds like it could be a histamine intolerance as well. Yeah. Yes, if you do want to schedule a consult with me, you can email me to health@holisticspring.com, or you can just go on my Holistic Spring website, which is just holisticspring.com, and you can message me through the contact page as well. What is your best answer for inflammation? I have lupus and diabetes and enlarged spleen. I have a lot of videos on reducing inflammation, so I do recommend checking them out because I share like a lot of really good tips in there. But the biggest thing is going to be digestive enzymes with your food, so you're at least digesting what you're consuming so that you don't get inflammation from that. I love cod liver oil. If you're a vegan, then you can do a vegan omega-3 supplement, but just get a good omega-3 in your diet for anti-inflammatory. You can do like lots of ginger, some turmeric mixed with ginger for anti-inflammatory effects. I really love doing herbal teas as well. Chaga tea, holy basil tea, green tea even. So the more herbal teas you're getting in, peppermint, it's going to be really good for reducing inflammation. And then in terms of diet, just avoid nightshades like the plague, especially with lupus. Avoid gluten and avoid dairy and cane sugar. So those are my 4 food groups, I guess, that I would really recommend avoiding. I was in class today, my heart was beating so hard. Yes, if you do have like major like heart palpitations, or you do have like a fast beating heart, it's a lot of times to do with adrenals and too much cortisol in the body. So if you do have like even high blood pressure, it's a lot at times paired to adrenal fatigue. I don't even know, I just lost my train of thought, sorry. I'm so tired. Yeah, so adrenal fatigue is a big one. I would really recommend doing lots of minerals like potassium. Even if you drink coconut water, it's really high in potassium and essential minerals, which are going to go directly to supporting your heart. A lot of people just find too, again, if you have Candida overgrowth and it gets to the heart, that they get a super fast beating heart, or their heart skips beats. It's usually a lot of times to do with Candida overgrowth. Let's see. There's so many questions. I just completely lost where I was. What is the best supplement for arthritis? I have a couple. Boswellia is really good. It's frankincense. So you can either do the essential oil and get like a roll-on bottle, so you can roll it onto your actual joints, which is amazing. Or you can get the supplement Boswellia and you just take it in capsule form. That would be really good for reducing inflammation. It's just super powerful. Cod liver oil would be my next big one. But usually if you do have arthritis, it just means there's a lot of underlying issues, usually Candida overgrowth, usually liver toxicity. So it's important to address the root cause rather than just taking a supplement to improve the arthritis. So I would say do a liver cleanse and a Candida cleanse at some point. And then also if you have arthritis, it means you're extremely acidic. So lots of alkaline things like chlorophyll, spirulina, Craxol chlorella, lots of green smoothies, lots of green steamed vegetables, that kind of stuff. I think I do have a video on arthritis, possibly. So I can't remember. I have so many videos out. I have extreme Candida overgrowth, leaky gut, and some liver damage. I have 5 homeopathic products. You recommend T-Pin, R1, Imugen, USDA Gemo, and Herbal Gem Birch Tree. Yeah, those sound pretty good. I keep zooming in. Those sound pretty good. I'm not sure if you're asking a question or just mentioning. So if it is a question, maybe. Oh, there we go. What can I do while liver detoxing for Candida? Liver cleansing, I do have so many videos on. In terms of herbals, you can do like an actual flush from a company. There's Renew Life has a liver cleanse. There's 2 bottles for phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. Omega Alpha has a liquid flush. It's just called liver cleanse. Or liver flush, and you can do that one as well. You can do hot lemon water with liquid chlorophyll and some grapefruit juice. So there's a couple things you can do if you do want the best effects and you want pure full drainage. I recommend homeopathics, but everyone needs a different one, so it depends on your specific body, your deficiencies. So I can't just give you one right now because what works for you might not work for someone else. So it really does come down to the individual with homeopathics, but there are definitely some things you can do with herbs and use some of the supplements that I just mentioned. Sorry if this is gross, but do you know what causes mucus around the stool? A couple things. Inflammation in the gut. So we have mucus in our gastrointestinal tract, and we want it there because it seals off our gut, which means, we're not going to have food and toxins passing into the bloodstream. So it's a good sign. But if there's a lot of mucus, then it just means there's a lot of inflammation. So I would recommend, there's a couple things. Inflammation can be caused by an underactive stomach, which in that case you would want to take betaine hydrochloric acid. It could just be caused by not enough enzymes, so then you would want to do a digestive enzyme. My favorite is pancreatin from Genestra brands. Or it could just be caused by actual inflammation in the gut, which then in that case you would want to do like aloe vera gel, liquid chlorophyll, good soluble fiber like chia seed and flaxseed to really reduce that inflammation as well. So there could be a couple issues there. I have lupus, tons of inflammation, diabetes, lots of pain, can't really exercise because of inflammation. I think your best bet at this point, whenever you have an autoimmune disease, I've mentioned this so many times, your first course of action should always be liver kidney drainage. If you have that much inflammation, it means there's so many toxins in your body that they have nowhere to go. And if they have nowhere to go, it means that your liver and your kidneys are blocked and toxins are not leaving your body through your urine and your stool. So I do recommend getting on a liver protocol. If you want homeopathics, I can definitely help with that. Otherwise, you can use those herbal ones that I just mentioned. But definitely get some liver support happening. And once you start getting toxins leaving the body, inflammation will naturally decrease. At that point, you can bring in a Candida cleanse. As soon as you start to Candida cleanse and rebalance the bad and good bacteria, a lot of inflammation will go down. On top of all this, you can do the supplements that I mentioned earlier in the video, like the cod liver oil, boswellia, probiotics, lots of anti-inflammatory nutrients to help alongside all of this. And you have to avoid trigger foods if you're not. So gluten, dairy, cane sugar, nightshades, even beef like red meat. And you can take it even further and avoid soy and corn, which are also inflammatory as well. So I would really look at diet if you're not already. What's your thoughts on Frank Tufano's diet advice? I don't know who he is, so I'm not sure, but I will look into him after I get off the live. How to get rid of hemorrhoids. I can't remember if I did a video on this. I feel like I did, but I could be wrong. But the first thing would be if you have hemorrhoids, it means you have poor circulation. So you want to increase your venous circulation. So lots of garlic, lots of even cayenne pepper, hot lemon water, ginger. These are great for that. And you really want to increase your fiber. If you have hemorrhoids, it's usually also a sign that you're not having enough fiber, which means your stools are harder. So I recommend chia seed and flaxseed. Do a tablespoon of each a day with a lot of water. On top of that, do some aloe vera gel as well. You can also do probiotic suppositories. A lot of times you just might not have enough good bacteria in your large intestine. which again can cause the hemorrhoids. So that might be something else you want to add in as well. With blastocytitis hominis, eat your nutrients and prevent you from gaining weight, even though it is protozoa and not a tapeworm. I think if you're not gaining weight and you're eating a lot of food, regardless of parasites or bad bacteria, if you do have a bacterial imbalance, it just means you have poor gut health. If you have poor gut health, it means you're not actually absorbing what you eat anyways, because you're not producing enough enzymes and you don't have the microvilli to digest your food. So I think regardless if you're having a hard time gaining weight, it's just to do with really bad gut health and digestion. So it would be important to do digestive enzymes and really start addressing your digestion. I do believe that most people also do have parasites. So even if you think you don't, or you might even have done testing and they say you don't, usually you still do. So I would address parasites regardless. It would never hurt to do a parasite cleanse, just to be on the safe side. Can you get inflammation from animal products and grains? Yeah, you can. Animal products, if they're not organic, free range, pasture raised, etc., they do contain a lot of hormones, excess hormones. They contain antibiotics and a whole bunch of other bad ingredients. So that definitely can cause inflammation. And then in general, if you do have a high histamine or histamine intolerance, then any animal product will cause inflammation. And then in general, animal products do just naturally cause inflammation in the body because they are acidic. So if you are consuming animal proteins, it's just so important to make sure you're getting a lot of good greens in your diet. If you have Hashimoto's, I would avoid grains for a while until you kind of balance out the thyroid a bit, just because they're really hard to digest. I would stick to more, I guess, paleo, but don't be so heavy with the animal protein. So you would do more lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of like avocado, wild-caught salmon, lots of chia seed, flax seed. You might even be able to do lentils, sweet potato, carrot, squash, that kind of stuff. Coconut yogurt's great too. Can you talk about quercetin, bromelain? I have psoriasis and feel like my body's freaking out. Skin is dry and irritated. Yeah, any type of anti-inflammatory is going to help. Any type of like bromelain is really good for digesting your food. So anything to do with anti-inflammatories or digestion is definitely going to help. But if you have psoriasis, it's 100% a liver toxicity issue and a Candida overgrowth issue. So once you address those, your skin will definitely calm down and most likely fully clear up as well. I bought liquid chlorophyll and mint. I can't stand it. It's so bad. Is there any other supplements to use for liver cleanse? That you're the first person to say that. I'm not sure which brand you have, but literally every single person I know that has tried the mint one says it tastes really nice. Do you drink it straight up? If so, I recommend adding like a tablespoon to 2 cups of water. It really dilutes the flavor rather than just drinking like a shot of it. But you can definitely get these in an actual capsule form. So there's one called Chlorogen from Genestra, but it's a little bit pricey. But you can also buy spirulina capsules. You can buy Craxol chlorella capsules, so you don't have to take it in a liquid form if it bothers you. What are the best vitamins to take for anti-inflammation? I think I've already touched on this. One thing, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. It's at Marla's Healthy Life. I just literally posted today all about inflammation and free radicals and antioxidants and my favorite vitamins and nutrients for that. So it's still in my stories. If you follow me there, you can check out my stories. I also highlighted them and saved them. So even if they disappear after the 24 hours, you guys can still see them in my highlights under holistic tips. So I definitely recommend doing that. I did through this live, though I did touch on that a little bit. So I'm going to skip that question, try to get to the other ones because there's still a bunch. I have Hashimoto's and excessive Candida overgrowth and a lot of articulation pain. What do you recommend? Again, I think I touched on this quite a bit. Reduce inflammation like crazy, liver cleansing, Candida cleansing. And don't do the Candida cleanse until you've done at least a month of liver cleansing, and then continue the liver cleanse with the Candida cleanse together. Do you have any ulcer remedies that are not peptic? I take a lot of anti-inflammatory medications and I don't want to get an endoscopy. Aloe vera gel is my favorite. I would definitely do probiotics. Marshmallow root would definitely be huge help as well. And L-glutamine, lots of that for sure. And any healthy fats like cod liver oil or just pure wild-caught salmon, those are all going to really help as well. What are your thoughts on black seed oil? Black seed oil is amazing. I actually just got some in today from Ancient Nutrition. They have like a black seed oil and MCT oil mix, so it's awesome. I love it. I actually give it to my kids a little bit too, but I have to say it's not the first thing that I reach for. It's kind of like I really like it. It's actually good for for reducing inflammation. It's good for killing the bad bacteria, but it's not one that I grab over. I prefer other supplements over black seed oil, but it's definitely very nutritious and it has amazing benefits. So it's really fantastic. What do you recommend beside liquid chlorophyll to help the liver? I can't stand it. Homeopathics, and I already touched on this again, but hot lemon water, and then you can do the liver flush from Alpha Omega or Renew Life liver detox as well. Where are you from? Palestine? No, I live in Canada, but my dad was from Iraq and my mom was from Lebanon, so I've got a mix of both there. Would cod liver oil be high in histamine? No, I get this question a lot for some reason. It is not high in histamine. It is so high in EPA, DHA, omega-3. There's no, it would not cause any issues if you have high histamine because it's so anti-inflammatory. I'm not sure what nightshades are. Nightshades are tomato, pepper, eggplant, potato, even ashwagandha root, but usually ashwagandha is fine for people with a nightshade intolerance. Thanks for taking the time to answer questions. You're very welcome. Thanks for asking them. Last thing, I watched your histamine video. Could you give me an example on a low histamine dinner meal? My favorite go-to would be a bowl. So I would do a base of sweet potato, top it with some steamed broccoli, some avocado chunks, and any other type of veggies you want to add. And then I put like some hemp hearts on the top, so it's anti-inflammatory. And I love making my own dressing. I usually just do like avocado and cilantro and olive oil blended in a blender with some raw garlic, lemon juice, and salt. So it's like a cilantro dressing, and I drizzle that on, and it is so good. But you can make any dressing. You can get creative. You can do like maple and even balsamic and mix that together, like maple syrup. So whatever you like, but that would be my favorite. I love doing bowls. If you want, you can do wild caught salmon, which is not a high histamine food, for some added protein, or you could even do, if you're vegan, you can do some organic sprouted tempeh or tofu. What is the best protocol for the new year body detox? Where do we start? Kidneys, liver, gallbladder, candida. If you do a liver cleanse, you're usually addressing the gallbladder and pancreas. If you do kidneys with it, then you're going to take care of all of that, and they all should be done together. Then you follow it up with a candida cleanse. Which brand of garlic supplements is the best one? I think they're all pretty good. If you can get organic, I know Now Foods has a garlic. I'm pretty sure Organica has garlic as well. So find whatever's near you. If you can, try to get organic as well. Can you remineralize teeth? Mine have little enamel. Yes, you can. I actually just released a video on that with some really good supplements to take if you do have any issues with enamel and building that back up. Should you do a full body cleanse before healing leaky gut? Yeah, so usually you do liver, kidneys, and colon cleanse. But while you're doing that, you're essentially healing leaky gut. It's the first phase of healing leaky gut because you're reducing inflammation. So definitely start with that. Most garlic supplements are garbage. I wouldn't say that. There's a lot of really good companies. It just depends where you live, what you have access to. But if you can find organic, you're doing great. I personally just love raw garlic, and I would just add it to everything, and I love like the spiciness of it. But if you're not used to it, then capsules are the way to go. I have rheumatoid arthritis and have tried many remedies, and nothing has worked. I can't walk, and I'm in bed all day. Do you recommend to start with the liver so supplements can work? Yeah, if you have liver toxicity, it doesn't matter how many herbs and supplements you take, you're not going to absorb them, and you'll just be straining the liver more because it now has to handle and detox and neutralize all of these supplements you're taking and absorb them. So it's even more strain. So I do recommend starting with liver drainage. And what you can do is just take anti-inflammatory supplements alongside it. So food supplements like cod liver oil, boswellia, wild-caught fish, lots of probiotics, and you're well on your way, and liquid chlorophyll. Anytime you have arthritis, you need a lot of greens because you're very acidic. And that will get you well on your way to improving your health. I do bodybuilding and eat a really healthy diet, but I have to eat a lot of protein, 300 grams a day. I started taking betaine HCl. Anything else you recommend to combat the negative effects? A lot of greens. And something you can do is take protein in a vegan form as well. So there are some vegan proteins like pure hemp protein or pure pea protein. They don't taste good, but they are anti-inflammatory, and it's a good way to balance all of the animal protein, but definitely lots of greens and a digestive enzyme. So if something has like pepsin in it, would be great as well. Apple cider vinegar is great as well to add to salads and things like that. Can you have broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, spinach with hypothyroidism? Is it safe to have them raw? I would not have any of those cruciferous vegetables raw. I would definitely steam them or roast them. But yes, they are very safe. They are fantastic for getting rid of excess estrogen from the body and detoxing hormones. So I would definitely include them in your diet. What do you think of the medical medium and his live detox? I haven't really looked into him much. I've heard of him, but I haven't really looked at what he does, so I can't really comment on that. Am I wrong for just doing a Candida diet? If you have not done liver cleansing, yes, it's way better to do no Candida cleansing than it is to do a Candida cleanse before supporting the liver, because you will cause a lot more inflammation. That being said, if you're not actually doing antifungal supplements and stuff, but you're just doing straight up eating clean and low sugar, you're going to do fine. So if that's what you mean, then you can continue the Candida diet, because it won't, eating good will never harm you. But if you are bringing in antifungals and stuff, that's when you have to be very careful and do a liver cleanse first. Can you please make a YouTube video or an article on your website about the healing crisis? I'm currently trying to heal my psoriasis. I have done a couple, I think, YouTube videos, or I've talked about it in my YouTube videos. You should not be going through a healing crisis. If you are, it's a bad sign, and it is always, again, related to the liver. If you're having a healing crisis, it means all these toxins are being brought up while you detox, but they have no exit because your liver and kidneys are blocked, so they have to go out through your skin, as your skin's your next elimination organ. So when you start flaring really bad, it just means you need to support your liver in another area. So I would definitely get on some liver drainage or something, because healing crisis is not a good sign. If you're really flaring, it means there's so much inflammation in your body, and a lot of damage can come from that. Will the tips in your cavity video make my teeth whiter? Yes, that's what the whole, I do have a teeth whitening video, but the whole point of like alkalizing your mouth and reducing acidity will clear the plaque and totally whiten the teeth naturally, and you'll see results so quick from that. I think there should be more information on diet, gut health, and mental health. Mood disorders are highly connected, but what about less talked about disorders like OCD? Yeah, you're so right. Your emotions, the mood, the way you think, your thoughts, all of it directly affects how you're healing. It affects the health of your body for sure, absolutely. I have a couple of videos that I filmed a while back on like mental health and how it relates to your body and your health directly. And even in like holistic nutrition school, we always look at body, mind, and spirit, because they're all connected. But I just never got around to getting them up. So if I see that there's interest in that, I definitely will get those videos up. Have you had any clients with OCD who saw improvement with diet and cleanse? None of my clients have ever mentioned, OCD. I have had major OCD to the point that it would cause severe anxiety. And after I did my Candida cleanse, I did find that I'm a lot more relaxed, but I'm relaxed and less stressed overall. I do feel like OCD is still present, but nowhere near as bad as it was. Do you recommend rhodiola and ashwagandha for stress? I love them. I also highly recommend chaga mushroom. It's like my ride or die supplement for stress. And I find like I take it and 15 minutes later it works. It's so incredible. Just wanted to say your videos keep me motivated and hopeful that I can actually get to the bottom of what is happening to my body. Thank you so much. I absolutely love when I get positive feedback. It reminds me of why I'm doing this, and I just love that I'm able to help so many of you and reach so many people around the world. YouTube is an amazing platform. Can we heal asthma using diet? Yes, I have so many requests to do an asthma video, so it's on my long list of video requests. I will get one out at some point. But yes, you can. Again, asthma has a lot to do with allergies, inflammation, and Candida overgrowth. And once you clear that, your mucous membranes will clear up. One thing you can start to do right now is take something called Gammadine MnCu. So it's manganese copper, and that's really good for loosening up the mucus to clear out the mucous membranes. And giving so much info and you're all trolling. So many people trolling, I know. I get that a lot. Okay, so it's pretty much the end of this live video. If there are any other questions or anything that I missed, you can leave them in the comment section below. I just ordered some diatomaceous earth, hoping it will help psoriasis. What's your recommend on taking it? Yes, I used it for a while. I love it. It's great for the skin and stuff as well. I would do usually like work up to it. Don't start with a full dose, but I would do about half a tablespoon. And I worked up to 1 full tablespoon, and I would mix it with like 2 to 3 cups of water. Take a ton of water with it or it will cause a lot of constipation. And again, just that being said, make sure that you do liver cleansing before you attempt parasite cleansing because it'll cause a lot of issues. So once you do that, then start bringing in the diatomaceous earth. Take it for 2 weeks, and then I would do a break for about a week or two before bringing it back in for another 2 weeks. Thank you very much for your help. You're very welcome. So I'm going to end the video, the live video here. It's like almost 9 o'clock where I live, so I'm pretty tired. I've been working all day. But if I missed any questions or if you guys have anything else and you weren't able to join the live, you can leave them in the comments and I will get back to all of you. I really appreciate all the love and support on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel, with my business. You guys are so incredible and I'm so grateful that I get to chat with all of you. So again, thank you so much for joining me and I hope you